The UK will promise to donate £290 million to help poorer countries cope with the effects of climate change. The UK government has said that most of this money will be used to help nations in the Pacific and Asia, which are most vulnerable to the negative impacts of global warming. So go towards improving conservation, which helps protect ecosystems and wildlife, and low carbon development, which means growing environmentally friendly industries that can provide the countries with jobs and money. The government's international trade minister said, quote, "We must act now to prevent climate change from pushing more people into poverty, and that the countries gathered to pledge this money are aiming for significant change." But some people think that what's been decided at the conference isn't going far enough. What famous climate activist Greta Thunberg said at the protest on Friday that, quote, "We don't need any more empty promises," and has branded the summit a failure. An environmental activist, Nemo Bassi, joins me on the news from Glasgow via Zoom to dissect this story. Good to have you join us, Bassi.
Thank you very much.
So this is not the first time a promise like this has been made. Developed countries promised $100 billion to help poorer countries deal with climate change. The deadline was 2020, and nothing has been done about that. So do you agree with Greta Thunberg that these are empty promises?
Absolutely. The COP has been an arena for empty promises for the past 26 years. The promise to raise $100 billion per year for vulnerable nations was made in Copenhagen in 2009. So they set a long deadline, hoping that so that people will keep on believing that something will happen by 2020. And 2020 came and went, and nothing has happened. Now they pushed the deadline to 2025, and I believe it's just hot air.
And it seems like this has been treated as some sort of charity, but it is not charity. The developed countries have higher carbon footprint than poorer nations. So this is actually supposed to help poorer nations, but poorer nations tend to deal with the effect of climate change more than the developed countries. So why do you think that this is being seen as some sort of charity instead of the responsible thing to do? Mr. Bassi, can you hear me? Right, the network seems to be shaky today. We'll try and get Mr. Bassi. If we do, we'll talk about that issue with him because it is quite important.